Jeff Shore back with you here as we continue our series on the keys to success. We've looked at two keys already. We looked at the key that we call confidence, that intersection of belief and mastery and how critical that is to our success. And then we looked at the key called diligence, that stick-to-itiveness, that desire to do it again and to really build those good habits. What are those things that I do over and over again that make for success? Today we're going to talk about another critical component of success called strategy. And here's the question that I want to ask you. This is what I want to pose to you here. When you think about strategy, and if you were to define your strategy, the first question I want to ask you is this: is the strategy in your mind yours or someone else's? Did you determine your strategy? Or did somebody dictate it for you? You see, over and over again, we sometimes think, especially when we work for big companies, that the strategy belongs to the company. And I want to look at it and say the company may have its strategic priorities. That's fine. They absolutely should. But what I'm talking about for you as a sales professional is the idea that you must create, develop, and determine your own strategic plan. So here's the key. This is the action item for you. Spend a little time. Sit down and ask yourself, what if I were a business? What if I were a business? What if my professional life was a business? If I was the business, what would I want to look like? What would I want to look at? I want to look at how I grow the business. I want to look at the financial management of the business. I want to look at those things that I'm doing to set the right path in place for the business. I want to make sure that the business is surrounded by good people who can help it to grow. What would it mean for you to think of yourself as you incorporated if you were a business? You see, the idea here is that way too often, and I mean way too often, people sort of stumble along through their careers doing nothing more than adopting other people's strategy. The fact is that most people spend more time thinking about their vacation than they do about their vocation. And I want to challenge you on that one to look at it and say, how can you lay out the strategy? Where are you going in your career? And this just doesn't mean, what's the next job or what's the next promotion. It's the question of how are you growing? What are you doing to maximize your value to the organization? What are you doing strategically to grow your career? And who is in charge? Take charge of your own success. Build the strategy. Ask yourself those key questions. What does success look like? What do I need to do to prepare myself for that? Who do I need to surround myself with? How do I need to take care of myself? When I start asking myself these questions, then I get that measure of control back where I can look at it and say, I can dictate my own success. I'm not waiting for somebody to do it for me. Get strategic. Own your success, and you can change your world.